The jury has submitted some questions, and based on the rules of evidence and other applicable rules of law, I have determined that most of them are appropriate. The first question is, how do you know what you inquired about but did not document? Do you have a list of questions that you intended to ask Mr. Holmes? That's a two-part question. So let me repeat the first part and have you answer that. How do you know what you inquired about but did not document?
I know from a report, and I know from the notes that I took during or immediately after, and primarily, but I remember from many of the documents that I reviewed over time, some of them several times, I remember the details that were provided.
The next question is, do you have a list of questions that you intended to ask Mr. Holmes?
Yes. The list of questions related to the way that the report is structured were that I refer to as a timeline, starting with the background, where he was born, going year by year, kindergarten, lower school, the neighborhood that he grew up in, the move, what he will do, what he likes to eat. These are routine questions that I ask every person clinically that I evaluate. Hobbies, preferences, this is in the background section. Then in the academic history, I go over classes, subject matter, teachers remembered, what was the topic. These are the routine things, one after another. In the social history, starting from friendships, what did you do with your friend, who called, who visited, who came to your home. This is like routine. And for the psychiatric history, probing for presentation of any symptoms that are child appropriate from a lifespan perspective, attention deficit, anxiety that are more common in children. As we go into adolescent, oppositional defiant behavior. As we go into adolescent, presentation when depression is more likely to emerge, substance use, psychotic symptoms. These are standard questions that I go through, and it is based on a structured interview that I've conducted many times and is applied to every participant. And then it includes also any help-seeking behavior or that parents were looking counseling, seeing a mental health professional, a counselor, activities, playing soccer, any activity that gives me information on the person and reviewing appropriate medical records that relate to each segment in the development.
The next question, Doctor, is, since there is no video or audio of your interviews with Mr. Holmes, is it possible that you suggested answers but do not recall?
I did not suggest answer to Mr. Holmes.
The next question is, since Mr. Holmes did not show neurocognitive deficits across the board, is this a contraindication of schizophrenia?
No, it is not, because high-functioning individuals, which are a small portion of people with schizophrenia, because they're a small portion of the population, and I mean 2-3 standard deviation from the mean. It's rare. Most people are within the mean. Most of us are within the mean. To have this level of cognitive abilities is well higher than the mean, and the follow-up, and the neuropsychological evaluation is concomitant with IQ. It is highly correlated with IQ. Important in people like that is variability, and there was variability in his performance. Furthermore, the follow-up evaluation showed decline in IQ, commonly seen and documented in people with schizophrenia.